Welcome to War Bios, the podcast where we delve into the lives of history's most renowned military leaders. I'm your host, General Biography, and today we're going to explore the fascinating life of John Churchill, the first Duke of Marlborough, a man whose strategic brilliance and unwavering resolve would shape the course of European warfare. Born on May 26, 1650, in Musbury, Devon, England, Marlborough's early life was marked by a unique blend of privilege and hardship that would ultimately forge his character and inform his future decisions. The English Civil War had recently ended, with the execution of King Charles I in 1649, and the country was still reeling from the aftermath. Marlborough's family was deeply rooted in the English aristocracy. His father, Winston Churchill, was a member of Parliament and a royalist who had fought on behalf of the king during the Civil War. His mother, Elizabeth Drake, came from a prominent family with strong connections to the Navy. The Churchills were known for their strong sense of duty, loyalty, and honor, values that would be instilled in young John from a very early age. As a child, Marlborough grew up in the family's estate, Ash House, in Musbury, surrounded by the beautiful Devon countryside. His childhood was marked by a close relationship with his parents and siblings, particularly his older brother George. The brothers were incredibly close, and their bond would last a lifetime. The Churchill family was known for their love of sports, particularly hunting and horse riding, activities that would help shape Marlborough's physical and mental toughness. Marlborough's education began at home, where he was tutored by a local minister, who instilled in him a strong sense of discipline and intellectual curiosity. He later attended St. Paul's School in London, one of the most prestigious schools in the country, where he excelled in his studies, particularly in mathematics and languages. His intellectual abilities and thirst for knowledge would serve him well throughout his life, as he applied these skills to military strategy and diplomacy. In 1667, Marlborough joined the British Army as an ensign in the King's Own Company of the First Guards, marking the beginning of a distinguished career that would span decades and earn him countless accolades. His early years in the army were influenced by his cousin, Arabella Churchill, who had become a mistress to King James II. This connection would prove instrumental in securing Marlborough's early promotions and introducing him to the highest echelons of British society. His experiences during this period laid the foundation for his future successes as he developed the skills, values, and relationships that would serve him well on the battlefields of Europe. The seeds of Marlborough's greatness were sown in these early years as he learned the importance of loyalty, duty, and intellectual curiosity. The historical context of Marlborough's early years was marked by significant events, including the restoration of the monarchy in 1660, which saw King Charles II return to the throne. This period also saw the emergence of new technologies, particularly in the field of warfare, with the development of more advanced artillery and infantry tactics. These changes would have a profound impact on the course of European history and would ultimately shape Marlborough's military career. Marlborough's rise to prominence began during the Third Anglo-Dutch War, where he distinguished himself as a courageous and skilled commander. His experiences during this conflict laid the foundation for his future successes, as he developed a deep understanding of the complexities of warfare and the importance of adaptability on the battlefield. In 1678, Marlborough married Sarah Jennings, a strong-willed and intelligent woman who would become his closest confidant and advisor. Their marriage was marked by a deep love and respect for each other, and Sarah's influence would play a significant role in shaping Marlborough's military career. The Glorious Revolution of 1688 proved to be a pivotal moment in Marlborough's life, as he defected from the Catholic King James II to support the Protestant William of Orange. This decision, though controversial at the time, ultimately led to his appointment as Commander-in-Chief of the British Army in Ireland. Marlborough's campaign in Ireland was marked by a series of decisive victories, including the Battle of the Boyne, which cemented his reputation as a brilliant military strategist. The War of the Spanish Succession, which began in 1701, would provide Marlborough with the ultimate test of his abilities. As Commander-in-Chief of the British and Dutch forces, he faced off against the French army, led by the renowned Marshal Louis-Joseph, Duc de Vendôme. The war was marked by a series of brutal and bloody battles, including the Battle of Blenheim, where Marlborough's strategic genius and tactical prowess earned him a crushing victory. This triumph not only saved Vienna from certain capture, but also cemented Marlborough's place among the greatest commanders in history. Marlborough's victories during the War of the Spanish Succession were not limited to the battlefield. He was also a master diplomat, able to navigate the complex web of alliances and rivalries that defined European politics at the time. His relationships with other leaders, including Prince Eugene of Savoy and King Frederick I of Prussia, played a crucial role in shaping the course of the war and ultimately securing British interests. His experiences during this period were marked by a deep sense of duty, loyalty, and honor, values that had been instilled in him from a young age. The Battle of Ramillies, fought in 1706, was another significant victory for Marlborough, as he defeated the French army led by the Duke de Villeroy. This battle showcased Marlborough's mastery of tactics, as he employed a series of clever maneuvers to outflank and defeat his enemy. The victory at Ramillies marked a turning point in the war, as it secured British control over the Spanish Netherlands and paved the way for future victories. Marlborough's legacy extends far beyond his military conquests. He was also a pioneer in the field of logistics and supply chain management, recognizing the importance of maintaining a well-fed and well-equipped army in the field. His innovations in this area would have a lasting impact on the development of modern warfare. As Marlborough's military campaigns drew to a close, he faced increasing opposition from Queen Anne, who had grown wary of his influence and power. The Queen's advisors, including the infamous Robert Harley, conspired against Marlborough, accusing him of mismanaging the war effort and embezzling funds. Despite his protests of innocence, Marlborough was eventually dismissed as commander-in-chief in 1711, marking a bitter end to his illustrious military career. The final years of Marlborough's life were marked by a series of personal struggles and tragedies. His wife Sarah had become increasingly reclusive and ill-tempered, causing tension within the family. Their son John had died in 1703, and their daughter Anne would pass away in 1716. Despite these challenges, Marlborough remained devoted to his family and continued to work tirelessly on behalf of his wife and children. In 1704, Queen Anne died, and the throne passed to her second cousin, George I of the House of Hanover. Marlborough, who had maintained a close relationship with the new king, was restored to favor and appointed as one of the king's advisors. However, this resurgence in fortune was short-lived, as Marlborough suffered a series of strokes which left him severely incapacitated. Marlborough died on June 16, 1722, at the age of 72, surrounded by his family and closest friends. His funeral procession was attended by thousands, and he was laid to rest in the Henry VII Chapel at Westminster Abbey. The eulogies that followed his death were effusive, with many hailing him as one of the greatest military minds in history. Today, Marlborough's legacy extends far beyond his military conquests. He is remembered as a pioneer in the field of logistics and supply chain management, and his innovations in this area continue to influence modern warfare. His commitment to duty, loyalty, and honor has inspired generations of soldiers and leaders, and his name remains synonymous with bravery, strategic brilliance, and unwavering resolve. In the words of Winston Churchill, Marlborough's descendant and biographer, Marlborough was a great soldier, a great statesman, and a great man. That's all for today's War Bios. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, I'm General Biography reminding you to keep marching toward victory.